Hi, this is Vanessa, and in this video we are going to make a granny square. Okay, so this is a circle inside a square. I made these for my latest sweater cardigan, and they were pockets. So I wanted to make a video on how to work this granny square. So for materials, if you're just making one, I used about ½ an ounce, which is about 30 yards. And this is actually bulky weight yarn. So any yarn with the recommended hook size, although this is category 5, and I used a USI, which is 5.5 millimeters. And this crochet hook is Wonder Woman, as you can see. Very beautiful, handcrafted by the Speckled Clay Boutique, and I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description box to her Etsy shop. And so you'll need yarn, and you'll need the recommended hook size, pair of scissors, tapestry needle to weave in your ends, and if you need a stitch marker to mark the beginning of your round, grab one of those. Also, this actually came with these cute little stitch markers. How cute is that? And it was in this pretty bag here. Okay, let's get started. Alright, so you want to start with a magic ring, and if you don't know how to work the magic ring, you can click on the link up in the corner. I will link a slower video for my magic ring tutorial. So I'm going to chain 2, which for me, I don't like to count that as my first stitch. And you want to work a total of 16 double crochet stitches into the ring. So 16 double crochets into the ring, yarn over, into the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. Also, I do have slower tutorials for the basic stitches if you're not familiar with how to work them. I'm just working 16 double crochets into the ring. So there's my first one. This was my chain that I do not count as a stitch. Okay, so I have 16 stitches, and I'm going to join my round working into the very first. So this was my chain 2. This was my first double crochet. I want to join my round by working a slip stitch into the first double crochet. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. I'll tighten it here a little bit, and the reason why I love the magic ring is because the hole gets tighter than if you were to work it just by chaining stitches to form a loop. Okay, so there's your round 1. You should have 16 double crochet stitches. Now round 2, you want to chain 5. So this chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5 is going to, the first chain 3 is going to count as your first double crochet stitch, and the chain 2 is going to count as your chain 2. So it's a double crochet and a chain 2, and you'll see why that is in a second. So since this was our first stitch, we don't want to work into this stitch, we want to work into the next stitch, which is right there. So working into the very next stitch, you want to work a double crochet, yarn over, insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. Now you want to chain 2. So that's why this is a double crochet and a chain 2, because now you will repeat all the way around working 1 double crochet and then a chain 2. So repeat that for all 16 stitches into the next stitch, 1 double crochet and a chain 2. Okay, next stitch, 1 double crochet and a chain 2. Next stitch, 1 double crochet and a chain 2. So go ahead and work that all the way around. Okay, so I've worked my double crochet and chain 2s all the way around. This is my last stitch right here. I'll work my last double crochet and a chain 2. So you want to slip stitch to the 3rd chain. So here's the first chain right there. 1, 2, 3. So into this 3rd chain you want to insert your hook, pull through and pull through. Okay, if you're like me and you get distracted easily, make sure you count your double crochet stitches and make sure you have 16. Okay, so I have 16, and now we're ready for round 3. So starting round 3, you want to slip stitch to the next chain 2 space. So right into the space I just worked a slip stitch. You want to chain 3, and this counts as your first double crochet stitch. And I forgot to remind you on the last round, but if you want, you can place a stitch marker on your 3rd chain so that you know where to slip stitch when you come all the way back around. So into the same chain 2 space you want to work 2 double crochets and then a chain 1. Okay, so let me show you what we'll be doing. Since this counted as a stitch, we have 3 double crochets into the chain 2 space plus a chain 1. So now you will work 3 double crochets into every chain 2 space all the way around, and then you should have a chain 1 in between. Okay, so 3 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1, 3 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. And if you're wondering if this hook is comfortable to hold, it definitely is. Okay, I know I get asked a lot if these handmade crochet hooks are comfortable, and this one in particular is very comfortable. So continue working your 3 double crochets into every chain 2 space and then a chain 1 in between. So 3 double crochets into the next chain 2 space and then a chain 1. Repeat this all the way around. Okay, so I'm ready to work my last set of 3 double crochets in the chain 1. So there's 1, 2, and 3, and don't forget your chain 1. So remember, if you mark this, you will know that that is the 3rd chain that you need to slip stitch in. And if you don't, it's the 3rd. So that's 1, 2, and that was the 3rd. Take the stitch marker out. Okay, so we've completed the circle portion of the granny square, so that's this part right here, and we need to set up for making the actual square. Okay, so this is going to be round 4. This is your first round, 2nd and 3rd. Now you want to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you want to single crochet into the next chain 1 space. So the spaces in between the 3 double crochet clusters. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 single crochet in the next chain 1 space. So you want a total of 3 of these chain 3s. So one more, 1, 2, 3, and then single crochet. Okay, so now every 4th cluster you want to work 6 chains instead of 3 to set up for the corners. So here's the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So the 4th one will have more chain stitches for the corners. 1, 2, 3, 4th one. 1, 2, 3, 4th one. 1, 2, 3, and finally the last one. Okay, so instead of chaining 3, you chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So just double, and then again you basically just put, and then you work your single crochet into the chain 1 space. Okay, so for the next 3 clusters you want to work a chain 3 in between, 1, 2, 3, and then single crochet into the chain 1 space. Okay, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 single crochet into the chain 1 space. So I have 2, I want to work 1 more, 1, 2, 3, and then single crochet in the next chain 1 space. Okay, so now I'm on the 4th one. I need to work 6 chain stitches, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be my next corner. 1 single crochet into the next chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3. So for the next 3 you just work 3 chains. 1 single crochet into the next chain 1 space, chain 1, 2, 3, and then 1 single crochet into the next. Last one, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 single crochet into the chain 1 space. And when I said last, I meant of the 3. Now we want to work another corner by chaining 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1 single crochet into the next chain 1 space. Okay, so for these last 4, this is where we started, and again you can use a stitch marker. So there's 4 clusters left. You want to work your 3 chains across these 3, and then the 4th one will be your 6 chains for the corner. So 1, 2, 3, single crochet, 1, 2, 3, single crochet, 1, 2, 3, single crochet, and then you want to work 6 chain stitches, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you want to slip stitch to the very first chain stitch of the chain 3 from the beginning. Okay, so now we're ready to work round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you want to slip stitch into this chain 3 space first. Okay, so now you want to work 3 double crochets into every chain 3 space, and you're no longer working any chain stitches in between. And then when you get to the corners right here, you'll place 5 double crochets, chain 2, 5 double crochets. Okay, so start with your chain 3, which counts as a double crochet stitch, which means you just need 2 more into the chain 3 space. So there's 1 and 2, so that's a total of 3. Now work 3 double crochets into the next chain 3 space. Remember not to chain in between these sets anymore. The last chain 3 space, work 3 double crochets. Okay, so this is the corner, and you will be able to tell because it's larger and it was our chain 6. So in here you want to work 5 double crochets, chain 2, and then 5 double crochets. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 2, and then 5 double crochets again. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so you just repeat that all the way around. 3 double crochet stitches into each of the 3 chain 3 spaces. So many threes, huh? And then in the corner you work your 5 double crochets, chain 2, and then the 5 double crochets. And you'll repeat that for all of these sides. Okay, so I'm finishing up my last corner stitch here of 5 double crochets, chain 2, and 5 double crochets. Now you want to slip stitch to the 3rd chain from the beginning, chain 3, to complete round 5. Okay, we have one more round left. I know my yarn is getting darker, I apologize, it's a little hard to see. Okay, so let's start round 6. You want to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and what you're going to do is you're going to work 1 double crochet into every stitch across, and then when you get to the corners, the chain 2 spaces, you're going to work 1 double crochet, 1 treble crochet, and then 1 double crochet. Okay, so into the 2nd chain right here, double crochet, and then work a double crochet all the way across until you reach the corner. Okay, so I'm at the corner. So 1 double crochet, 1 treble crochet, and to work a treble or a triple crochet, you yarn over twice. 1, 2, insert your hook into that space, pull up a loop, yarn over, and then pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 again, and then one more time, yarn over, and pull through 2. Okay, so it's a little bit taller than the double crochet. So 1 double crochet into the same space. Okay, so you have, and again I apologize, my yarn is getting darker here. So you have in the corners 1 double crochet, 1 treble, and 1 double. So a little caution, this first stitch sometimes get hidden by your stitches from the corner. So make sure your stitch is worked into the very first of the 5. Okay, continue along the edges, working 1 double crochet in every stitch until you get to the corner, and then work your double crochet, treble, and double crochet all in the same chain 2 space. Okay, I'm coming up close to the corner. So again, in the corner chain 2 spaces, you want to work all in the same space, 1 double crochet, 1 treble crochet, and then 1 double crochet. So 1 double crochet, 1 treble, wrap your yarn twice, and then pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 at a time. Okay, so there's your treble. And then you need to work 1 more double crochet into that space, and now continue again, and then repeat all the way around. Okay, so I just worked my last double crochet stitch. Here's my beginning chain 3. You want to work into the 3rd chain stitch, work a slip stitch. Okay. Okay, and there you have it. I think this would look really, really great as a blanket. And the reason why I used a smaller hook size is because I want it tighter, and because I am using these as pockets for a sweater. So more of a decorative pocket than a useful pocket, I guess. But I did want these stitches tighter, so it depends on your preference. They are roughly with this size yarn and this size hook. They're 7x7 squares. Okay, if you wanted to know what the sizes were for these. So now I'm actually going to leave a really, really long tail because I do have to sew this on a sweater. So I'm going to cut and leave a, and since I have such a large tail, I'm just going to pull it through my last loop. If you have a short tail, you can just yarn over and pull through all the way through to secure it. Okay, and then you can weave in your ends. I'm gonna go ahead and just weave this one because I won't need this tail here. And since I am using it in a garment, I'd like to make sure it's really secure. And I don't know why I have such a big plastic needle. It's the only one close enough to me. My craft room is such a mess right now. So just weave in your ends however you like. Oh my goodness. Okay. They're a little curly, but once you block it, they should be nice and flat. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for future videos.